So would I be getting better returns if I would have gotten a financial advisor versus self-managing my own Roth IRA? Guys, let me know down in the comments below. Do you have a financial advisor? And if so, why did you decide to go with a financial advisor? And if not, why did you decide not to get a financial advisor? So guys, if you are new to this channel, my name is Susan Velez, and on this channel, we talk about making money, saving money, and just becoming financially savvy so that we can catch up for retirement, especially if you are late to saving for retirement like me. So I thought it'd be kind of cool, guys. I wanted to share with you guys why I decided not to get a financial advisor. And then make sure you watch till the end, guys, because I'm going to take you inside of my Vanguard account, and then I'm going to take you inside of my partner's managed financial advisor managed Edward Jones account. I always want to call it Wells Fargo, but Edward Jones account, and kind of show you side-by-side comparisons. So these accounts were both opened at the same time. They have about the same amount in them. And I'm going to share with you guys the rate of return that I've managed to get as a self-managed account, and then the rate of return that she's getting with a financial advisor. That way, if you decide to go with the financial advisor, you kind of know what you're looking at. Now, that said, I know that all financial advisors are different. They will get different returns, but let me share with you guys before we get into the nitty gritty of the accounts, side-by-side comparisons. I want to share with you guys why I decided not to go with a financial advisor. Now, there's tons of information online about the pros and cons of getting a financial advisor, and I could read to you the pros and cons from a website, but what I want to do is basically just share my opinion of why I decided not to go with a financial advisor. So on this channel, we talk a lot about money, guys, and I get a little nervous about talking about money because I'm no financial expert. But I feel like whenever I talk about money, I come at it from my perspective of why I'm doing this, why I'm doing that, and what I'm doing with my money. That way you can kind of see my choices, my results, good or bad. And so 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I don't know when it was that I opened my Roth IRA, I decided not to go with a financial advisor. And the main reason that I did that, guys, was because I found out that financial advisors will charge you a fee. Now, that said, I know there are some fiduciary financial advisors that don't charge based on fees, and I'm not that well versed in whether financial advisors are fiduciary or fee-based. You'd have to do your due diligence if you decide to go with the financial advisor route. I didn't go that route because I knew that most financial advisors will charge a 1% fee or a 2% fee. And since I didn't have a lot of money to invest, I didn't want to give up my money to a financial advisor. So I took it upon myself to just learn how to get started with a Roth IRA. And one of the best channels that I learned from and followed their example was Our Rich Journey. And they talked about what they had inside of their Roth IRA, and I pretty much just followed suit. Now, make sure you watch till the end, guys, because as I said, I'm going to take you inside of my Vanguard account and show you what I have inside of my Roth IRA, and then compare it with the rate of return versus my Vanguard Roth IRA versus the Edward Jones account, which is my partner's account. So we'll talk more about that in a bit. Another reason that I chose not to go with the financial advisor is because I had read that financial advisors, if you choose a good total stock market index fund, financial advisors, 92% of the time, they cannot beat the market on a total stock market index fund. So I figured if they can't do a better job than me, why would I hire a financial advisor? Now, as I said, I don't know if that was the right decision or the wrong decision. Personally, I think it just all comes down to a personal decision. How do you want your money to be managed? Do you want to self-manage it yourself, or do you want to pay somebody to manage it for you? Me, I am a do-it-yourselfer, and I chose to manage it myself. And another reason I did that, guys, is because I don't think that financial advisors have your best interests in mind. So I know that this can vary. I know some financial advisors are good, and if you have to hire a financial advisor to get started with investing because you're scared to get started on your own, then go that route. Financial advisor is better. It's better to get started investing with a financial advisor than sit on the sidelines and be scared to start because you don't know where to get started. You don't know how to get started. If that's the case, then you need to go with a financial advisor. I don't believe they have my best interest in mind because it's not their money. If it's not your money, it's easier to take chances on things that may or may not be good than it is to just invest in a total stock market which is what I chose, and just leave the money there. So financial advisors will want to test out different types of investments, because when I look at my partner's account, she has several different investments, and I don't know what the cost of those investments are. I don't know how they perform. I don't keep an eye on that stuff, but they are more willing, in my opinion, to take more chances with your money because it's not their money. So those are the three main reasons that I chose to self-manage my Roth IRA. So now what I want to do, guys, is show you the difference and show you, compare them side by side to see whether or not I regret. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to 2023. We're going to go back a year ago, and we're going to look at the rate of returns, the amount of interest earned, and then I'm going to show you guys what I'm invested in. I'm not going to show you what my partner's invested in because I have no clue what those are, what the investments are. That's through Edward Jones, and that's something that her and her financial advisor talk about. So I don't really want to go into the nitty gritty of her account, but I'm going to show you what's in my Roth IRA. And it is only one index fund, guys. And I'll explain to you what it is, tell you the expense ratio. And then I'm also going to share with you guys the monthly statements from my account and her account. And one thing you're going to notice on the Edward Jones account, guys, is you're going to notice that there is a monthly fee of, I don't remember how much it is, but we're going to go inside. So let's go to the computer, and I'm going to walk you guys through step by step. All right, guys. So here we are on the computer. We're inside of my Vanguard account right here, and you can see the balance as today is $43,383.34. And then inside of my partner's Edward Jones account, her current value is $45,051.39. So they are a little bit different. And that was because when we first opened her account, she was older than me. So she was able to start contributing catch-up contributions right from the get-go. You can see basically what I'm doing is I'm comparing them because they're about the same balance. And I want to share with you guys how the performance has been in the past year. Now, as I said, her Edward Jones account, guys, is managed with a financial advisor. And if you don't know what a financial advisor, guys, I wanted to go in and tell you. It says right here on Dave Ramsey's website, it says, what is a financial advisor? A financial advisor helps people create long-term strategies for building wealth and managing risk. They can help you track, manage, and balance your investment portfolio. They also provide helpful advice on lots of other financial issues and decisions. So, as I said, guys, there's a lot of pros and cons online about whether or not you need a financial advisor. As I said, I chose to go without a financial advisor. If you choose to get a financial advisor, that is a personal decision. I'm not bashing a decision one way or the other, whether you have a financial advisor or whether you don't. I am just trying to show you whether or not I regret not going with a financial advisor and the rate of returns as far as performance I've gotten in the past year by self-managing my own account with just one index fund inside of my Vanguard account. So let's go to performance on both of them. So we're going to go ahead to go to performance. It says 1 year time frame. April 9th, 2023 to April 8th, 2024. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Roth IRA through Edward Jones, which is managed with a financial advisor. So we're going to see the rate of return on this one. So you can see your personal rate of return for the time frame that we have above, guys, which is April 8th through April 8th, 2023 to April 5th, 2024. You can see the rate of return for Edward Jones is 20.57%, which isn't too bad, guys. And then we can see that she maxed out the Roth IRA in 2023, which was the $7,500 maxed total contribution that we could do with the catch-up contribution in 2023. And the rate of return in money is $6,907.82. And right here it says this amount includes capitals, gains, losses, dividend income, accrued income, and interest income earned and received. So that's how much she got back in return based on this $7,500 contribution in just in 1 year. So now we're going to come over here to mine, and I've already put the filter in, guys. We've got one account, which is my retirement. So we got one account, which is my retirement, and we're going to see how much of a rate of return. So the date ranges for my Vanguard account are April 1st through April 5th. So you can kind of see that the date range is a little bit skewed, but it is still a year's time frame. So we can kind of see what the rate of return is. So for the past year, from April 1st, 2023 to April 5th, 2024, my Vanguard account earned a rate of return of 29.9%. So I did max out my Roth IRA in 2023, and you can see right here, purchases and withdrawals. You can see that it was $7,687.65, which is more than the 7,500. And the reason that it's more, guys, is because I had a rollover contribution from Lowe's Hardware. When I walked away from that job, I had to roll over my 401k from Lowe's into my Vanguard, and that's the reason that it shows more than the catch-up contribution of $7,500, which was the limit in 2023. So you can see my investment returns right here, guys, $8,417.59 compared to the return in Edward Jones, which was $6,907.82. Plus, guys, the personal rate of return from the financial advisor managed account was 20.57% versus my self-managed Roth IRA is 29.9%. So that goes to show you guys that even if you don't know anything about finances and you're still new to this, you can do a lot better with a self-managed account through Vanguard or any other brokerage account if you just invest in a total stock market fund. So also, guys, before I show you guys what I'm invested inside of my Roth IRA, let me show you guys some of the fees. All right, guys. So another thing I wanted to show you guys, if you are contemplating getting a financial advisor, I want you to understand that with a managed account through a financial advisor, you're going to have fees. Now, the fees will vary. And as I said, there is a difference between fiduciary and a fee-based financial advisor. So you'll want to make sure that you find out what the differences are, and then make sure that you choose the one that makes more sense for you financially. So my partner's financial advisor is a fee-based financial advisor. And if I remember right, I believe he said his fees are 1%. Now that doesn't sound like a lot to me and you. If 1% doesn't seem like a lot. But if you think about it, guys, you can see right here, it says fees and charges. And this statement was for March. So she gets a statement every month, and every month this is a $45.95 or $45.95 fee. I'm not sure exactly if that is the fee for everything, including the fees for the investments that he has her in or his fees. I don't know anything about that. I really don't take care of that personal Roth IRA because she is paying a financial advisor. All I know is I take care of mine, and that's it. And honestly, there's nothing to take care of. All I do is put money in there and make sure that I max out my Roth IRA. And that is my goal, just to max out my Roth IRA every year, and that's it. So you can see that $45.95, while that doesn't seem like a lot of money, guys, but if I had a financial advisor and I was paying him $45.95 times 12, that's $551.40 every year that you have to pay a financial advisor. So I don't know about you, but I don't have a lot of money to invest, and I don't want to pay him $551.40 every year. And if as my income grows or my investment grows, so does his fee, because he makes 1% off of everything that I have in my investment. So the higher my investment, the more that I have to pay him or her. I don't want to do that. And plus, I just showed you guys, he's not beating my Vanguard index fund. And I'm going to show you guys in a bit what I'm investing in. But first, let me show you my monthly statement from my Roth IRA, my brokerage account. And you can see right here, guys, commissions and fees, 000. Now, that said, I don't want you to think you're not going to have any fees with a Vanguard index fund, but so here is what I am invested in my Roth IRA is I am invested in the VTSAX Total Stock Market Index Fund. So it has an expense ratio of 0.04%, which is really low, guys. And Vanguard is known for their low-cost index funds. The downside with the VTSAX, guys, is that there is a minimum of investment of $3,000. And the reason that I chose the Vanguard VTSAX, guys, was because, as I said, I was following the advice for Our Rich Journey, the channel that I was telling you guys about earlier, and they had the VTSAX in their Roth IRA. And based on the information that they provide, after doing my own due diligence and reading several books, guys, I do have some links down in the description below to some of the books that I recommend for learning about financing and just becoming smarter with your money. I learned that the total stock market was one of the best places to put your money and safeguard yourself from a lot of loss. Now, that said, I know whenever you put money into the stock market, there is risk, but there's less risk when you buy an index fund. So as you can see, guys, the VTSAX is the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, Admiral shares. There is an ETF version that you can start. It says also available as an ETF starting at the price of $1. And the ETF version, guys, has an expense ratio of 0.03. And the market share for one price of VTI is 257.27 right now as of April 5th, 2024. So I chose VTSAX, which has an expense ratio of 0.04%. And the investment minimum is $3,000. And the reason I did this, guys, is because when I opened up my Roth IRA about 4 or 5 years ago, I don't even remember, I was in my mid-40s. They didn't have fractional shares. And so if I bought the ETF, I had to buy a full share of the VTI ETF's share. I didn't have $254 a lot of the times. A lot of the times I'm just investing $50 here, $20 there. Whenever I can, I'm just investing as much as I can. So I'm always just putting in as much as I can, dollar cost averaging throughout the year. And so that's the reason that I chose the VTSAX, because you can put in as much as you want, as little as you want. You don't have to pay the full share. I do think that Vanguard now allows a fractional shares, meaning that if you don't have the money to invest in a full price, then you can still invest, but you don't have to buy a full share at one time. That said, you want to do your due diligence, because I don't know. I just have the VTSAX. And so for me, it doesn't matter. I can invest whatever I want. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to share with you guys the insight, compare apples to apples, share with you guys why I decided not to go with a financial advisor. Do I think I'm wrong? Do I regret the decision? No, I don't, guys. I don't regret the decision. I do think that it is well worth me just doing what I've been doing. It seems to be working out for me. Anyway, if you've been thinking about getting a financial advisor, or if you've just been on the boat of whether or not you made the right decision, and if you're self-managing it, hopefully this video helps you out. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was a fun walkthrough to kind of show you the interest rates, the rate of return, the monthly fees, everything that I think that you would need to know to decide whether you should hire a financial advisor or not. As I say, guys, I'm not trying to bash financial advisors. I do think they can be a good thing if they get you to invest. If you are scared to get started, you have no clue on where to get started, then I think that maybe paying for a financial advisor is for you. That said, I do think that anybody can learn about financial literacy. If I can do it, guys, and I absolutely have no background experience, I know nothing. Everything is self-taught, and I've learned through podcasts, YouTube, books. I've just learned, and I've read about finance a lot. I listen to finance channels. I just really learned how to manage my own money. And guys, it really doesn't take a rocket science. If I can do it, I believe anybody can do it. So that's what I wanted to show you. Just compare the differences between a self-managed account and then one managed through a financial advisor. As I said, I don't regret going with a self-managed account. I do believe I'm going to come out better in the long run because I don't have those monthly fees. And I don't have to worry about different investments and learning where my financial advisor is investing stuff, because I don't have a financial advisor. I just invest in one stock or one index fund, which is the VTSAX index fund, Vanguard. And that's where I put my money. And that's where I am going to continue putting my money, not buying any other assets inside of my Roth. And so anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to share you a comparison because I know I've been reading a lot about whether you should hire a financial advisor or whether you shouldn't. I think it all comes down to a personal decision. You have to do what's best for you. And if you do hire a financial advisor and then you later decide that you don't want to keep that financial advisor, I don't believe you're stuck with them. I don't know if there's a contract between financial advisors and not. But if there isn't, then you can always decide that you want to self-manage your account, your own account later, and then move it to Fidelity, Vanguard, or wherever you want to move it and self-manage it yourself. So anyway, guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure you click that thumbs up button, subscribe to this channel if you enjoyed the content, and until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye.